The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bolgatanga. We are on Kekeli Radio in Ho. We are on Ganga FM in Jirapa. We are live on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. We are on myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is proudly sponsored by Petrol Sol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duro Plus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. This afternoon, two UK-based firms, Economist Intelligence Unit and Fitch Solutions, predict victory for former President John Dramani Mahama in next year's presidential elections.
I think at this point, we believe that the opposition National Democratic Congress, or the NDC, is best placed to win the election. Multiple surveys have shown that the economy will be the most important point for voters.
We have details in their latest report on the Ghanaian economy and how that will impact on the 2024 elections. Also this afternoon, Chief Justice convinces jurors in the Ashanti region to call off their 2-week-old strike after assuring them the arrears will be paid.
We agreed on following on their allowances to make sure that it's paid early.
Which means that at the end of this meeting, the jurors will be calling off their strike.
They've promised me they will do so, and I know they will.
But colleagues in the Bono and Ahafo regions have given an ultimatum for the 11-month arrears to be paid, or they will suspend their services as well.
If by the 27th of November they've not paid us our outstanding arrears, we'll withdraw our services. And we've assured them that the moment they pay us, we'll all organize ourselves and come back.
Minority demands scrapping of tax waivers for supposed government-linked companies or forfeit its backing of the 2024 budget negotiations.
They are asking you to pay these taxes, but in the end, they are taking your taxes and giving it to cronies of this administration. Our position is, we will never have a conversation on these new taxes until they have withdrawn all of these tax exemptions.
We'll get to hear from the MP for Lada. De Kotopong is doubtful government will live up to the promise of paying the contractor to begin work on the demolished La General Hospital.
I don't believe them, but I'm keeping hope alive to see if what they said, whatever they have said in the budget, they are going to implement it.
We have sports, and Ghana will begin her 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign this afternoon as the Black Stars take on the Barrier of Madagascar. You want to stay for details of that. And later we focus on Nigerian singer Victor Adi. He's expressed his gratitude to Ghanaians for making his song Waiting We Gain a hit song here even before he became popular in his home country, Nigeria.
It got to a point where it was bigger in Ghana first before Nigeria, definitely.
We have details of that and more here on the Midday News. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please do stay on for details. I am Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for your company. And this afternoon, former President John Mahama is likely to win the 2024 presidential polls. That's the prediction by two UK-based firms, Economist Intelligence Unit and Fitch Solutions. According to the EIU, Ghana is likely to experience a transfer of power from the ruling New Patriotic Party to the opposition NDC, largely driven by declining living standards, limited job opportunities, and poor public service. Fitch Solutions, on the other hand, says the ruling party is unlikely to remain in power, with former President Mahama expected to win the swing regions by nearly 48%, as against Vice President Baumia's 29%. Kofi J. Minter of our research desk joins us in studio for us to break this down a bit further. So, Kofi, let's start with the prediction of Fitch Solutions.
So, Emefa, according to BMI, which is a Fitch Solutions company, they say that it is unlikely that the ruling MPP will remain in power after the 2024 election. They source their data from the Global Info Analytics plus their own data, which puts the NDC ahead of the NPP in the Volta and OT regions, the northern regions, swing regions, and even the Akan regions. Now, on the economy, the report projects the CD will regain some of its lost value on debt restructuring deal and 2024 below 12 cedis to the dollar.
Now, let's focus on the EIU. What's it also saying?
So, EIU states that about 9 African countries, Emefa, will be going to the polls in 2024, where incumbent regimes are expected to prevail in most of the elections. But there is heightened risk of reduced parliamentary majorities. Now, according to the EIU, Ghana is likely to experience a transfer of power from the ruling MPP to the NDC in 2024. This, they say, just like you said, is largely driven by decline in living standards, limited job opportunities, and poor public service. Now, on the economy, EIU report says that inflation is most likely to, in African countries will ease in 2024, but double-digit inflation will continue to afflict some major economies, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, and Sudan.
Economy playing key, but for the avoidance of doubt, when exactly were these reports released?
So they were all released this year, which is 2023.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kofi J of our research desk, giving us details of that EIU and Fit Solutions reports that are putting former President Mahama ahead of Vice President Dr. Bawumia. That's the NDC winning the 2024 elections ahead of the NPP. Well, let's listen to Mike Kroninger. He's a senior analyst for Sub-Saharan Africa at Fit Solutions.
I think at this point, we believe that the opposition National Democratic Congress, or the NDC, is best placed to win the election. Multiple surveys have shown that the economy will be the most important point for voters in the upcoming election, which will give the ruling New Patriotic Party, or NPP, a disadvantage given that the recent economic downturn happened under NPP leadership. So if you take a look at the at recent polls, which I've included on the right-hand side of this slide, you will see that the NDC's leader, John Mahama, is not only leading in the Volta OT and northern regions, areas typically favoring the NDC anyway, but also in swing regions and even in Akan regions, which usually lean towards the NPP. So as for now, it seems pretty likely that the NDC will manage to secure a majority in the December 2024 election.
That's a senior analyst for Sub-Saharan Africa at Fish Solutions, Mike Kroninger. And I must say that this report just coming out last night, how much of confidence must the political parties attach to this? Joining us to explore this further is Dr. Kwame Asasante. He's a political scientist at the University of Ghana. Many thanks for your company. So you've been hearing details of this report for the NDC. It appears that it's a done deal according to these two reports. Should they leave it like that, or what else should they do? Hello, Dr. Asasante. Well, it doesn't look like we have Dr. Asasante just yet with us on the line, but we'll work the lines again and hear from Dr. Asasante with this latest report that's released from Fitch Solutions and also from EIU, putting former President John Dramani Mahama ahead of the NPP's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who's just been elected as flag bearer. They talk about the number of issues that will play out in the 2024 elections. And thankfully, Dr. Asasante joins us back on the line. Dr. Asasante, so we've been hearing from the EIU and Fitch Solutions, the two bodies are citing the state of the economy as a likely factor in determining the winner for the election, but also say the economy will witness recovery in 2024. Can that change for the NPP? Dr. Santia, unfortunately, it appears that I'm the only one who can hear you speak to me. The rest of the world cannot hear. So I'll rectify that. I'll get my technical team to rectify that. Then we can hear the submission that Dr. Asasante is making on this particular report that has been released by EIU and Fitch Solutions. So Dr. Asasante will give us details shortly. But you're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Meanwhile, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has commenced a two-day tour of the Bono region, dubbed Building Ghana Tour. The exercise will focus on meeting the electorate while announcing his bid to regain power as president. Party supporters this morning welcomed him to the region. Nana Yaojima was at the Sunyani airport for the arrival, and here's his report.
Few minutes ago, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, arrived here at the Sunyani airport. Behind me are some of the party supporters who came to meet him and welcome him here at the Sunyani airport. As you can hear, they're excited about his arrival and they believe that the NDC will return to power to save Ghana. Let me have an engagement with some of them. Let's listen to them and why they love the NDC so much. Akwaba about join you so I didn't tell you what about how Jem coming.
Yeah, but what John? He say yeah, one person, one bra. 2024. No magic power no. Na ya bra, ya bra.
What they are saying is that they are expecting John Mahama to return to power to save Ghana.
So that's Nana Yaojima's report. I'll be joining him shortly once the phone lines are rectified. But of course, a member of the advisory board of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, Dr. Fred Dave, is urging Ghanaians to scrutinize and confront politicians regarding their promises to combat corruption in the country. He emphasizes that the absence of decisive measures against wrongdoers has fueled indiscipline across various sectors of the national life. Dr. Degbe, addressing the 2023 National Christian Forum, stressed that without a genuine commitment from the political class to fulfill their pledges, the ethical standards in governance will continue to deteriorate.
You put 1, 2, 3 corrupt thieves, liars, lawyers, paying people into prison. You will see how we will behave. It is this same country, some of us grew up in the revolutionary era. Go and sleep at 6 o'clock. We're able to do it. Why? Because you are afraid somebody will beat you. The reason why the corruption and so on keep multiplying, the bad things keep going on, is that there's no punishment, no consequence. If government say those things, we should challenge them. I've seen people were saying, what was causing that trouble? I'm not a Dampare fan, but as an election observer, when you put 100 or 1,000 police people to box, no man, woman, juju man, anybody go and misbehave. What they won, they won. When Kumawu won, it won. They chopped it. They came and sang. That we Sikano Yedi o Yedi. All the commotion that happened at the election place did not happen in the 18. They happened outside. And the police were standing there looking at them. What do you want to do? You fight, but not where we are. If that should help, one of those things we need to demystify. They say to shut us down so that they will not do what they need to do. We pay you, you take our taxes to do the right thing.
That's Dr. Fred Degbe, is a member of the advisory board of the Coalition of Election Observers, CODEO, there at the 2023 National Christian Forum. Let me bring in my colleague Nana Yaojima, who's joining the former president John Dramani Mahama's campaign tour, Building Ghana tour of the Bono region. Nana Yaojima, so what's the former president up to at the moment? What can you report?
So presently, the former president, John Mahama, is at the Wenchi Traditional Council, meeting the council to interact with them. He paid a courtesy call on them. And at the moment, the Wenchi chief is putting the concerns of the people of Wenchi before president or the former president, John Mahama. From here, he moved to the mosque here at Wenchi to meet the Muslim community and also take their concerns, and also outdoor himself to them. Basically, what he is doing on this tour is to let the people of the Bono region know that he is coming back to seek their support to return to power, to return the NDC to power and help the people within the Bono region. Also, he will be taking their concerns that will feed into the NDC manifesto for the 2024 election.
Well, let's talk about the other engagements also on the list of itinerary of the former president.
So from here, he moves to Bedu in the Time constituency, and he will be communicating with the people of Bedu for their loss in recent times. And from Bedu, he will move to the Sunyani West constituency to engage some persons within the economic community and try to get their concerns. As I said, these concerns will feed into the NDC manifesto for the 2024 election.
That's my colleague Nanaya Jima there reporting from the Bono region as he joined the tour of former President John Dramani Mahama. Now, away from that, minority in Parliament is intensifying pressure on government to scrap tax waivers for companies allegedly affiliated with the ruling New Patriotic Party. The demand, strategically tied to the upcoming 2024 budget considerations, shows a high-stakes standoff with the majority on the floor of the House in upcoming debates. Minority Leader Dr. Arthur Forson revealed some companies enjoying millions of Ghana cedis in tax relief, indicating that government could save those millions in its quest to generate revenue for the economy instead of killing other companies with excessive taxes.
If you actually require revenue, you wouldn't give tax exemptions to companies that are closer to this government. And they, as soon as you just go to them and say, I'm closer to this government, and there's no format, they'll just allow you to, they grant you tax exemption. $459 million, 5.5 billion. Our position is, we will never have a conversation on these new taxes until they have withdrawn all of these tax exemptions. So first, you have a company under 1D1F called Agroho Ghana Limited. They are giving them $747 million tax exemption. Second, they are giving another company called Amponsa Efa Pharmaceuticals Limited $1.9 million. Another company, B5 Limited, amount of $11.4 million. BCAF Food Company Limited, $271 million. By O&J Pharmaceutical Limited, $159.8 million. A company called Canadian Commercial Corporation. They say they are doing power generation, so $1.8 million. Another company, CMAF, $8 million. You have here Cement d'Afrique Ghana Limited, $8.6 million.
That's the minority leader, Dr. Arthur Forson. Well, we know that the finance minister announced in the 2024 budget that the contractor for the La General Hospital will be paid to start work next week. But the MP for La, Dadekotopon Retana Odelesoa, doubts the latest promise.
Third week of November, we are all going to move to the site to see if the contractor has moved to site. If the contractor has moved to site, we'll celebrate, we'll jubilate. But we'll pray that they will finish before the 2024 elections. And so for me, I don't believe them, but I'm keeping hope alive to see if what they said,
Let me take you to Parliament. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante is on standby. Kweku, the Ladekotopon MP has also been providing an update on the struggles of her constituents who assess healthcare. Tell us more.
Well, according to now Delesoa, that constituency is really big and her constituents are struggling, and so many times there's some makeshift structures that is erected within the constituency to provide healthcare services, but generally they are struggling, and their wish and hope is that this latest promise by government will come to pass.
Whatever they have said in the budget, they are going to implement it. We are watching. We are keeping our fingers crossed to see if contractor will move to site, and we'll applaud the government if contractor moves to site.
Now tell us what else Parliament is considering today.
Emefa, big on the agenda this morning is the cocoa syndicated loan. Cocoa Board is seeking to raise about $800 million to purchase cocoa beans from farmers. Over the last few weeks, we've covered how Cocoa Board has been struggling to get money to pay farmers who send their beans to Cocoa Board outlets. This morning, the Agri Committee will present their report on the syndicated loan. A decision is expected. There are also questions for the roads minister on a number of roads projects that have stalled across the country. Is expected to come and apprise how contractors are being paid to mobilize and go to sites.
Well, that's Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante. Let me take you to the Ashanti region, where Jurors Association there say they will call off their 2-week strike and return to court after meeting the Chief Justice on the arrears standoff. At the end of the meeting, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokono, promised to follow up on the payment. Foreman of the Jurors Association say they will resume work on Monday. My colleague Nana Bwachi Dankwa Yadom has more.
So, near 2 weeks of strike by the Juror Association of the Ashanti region to demand some 10 months unpaid arrears owed them by government. Today, in a fruitful meeting with Chief Justice Gertrude Tukono, the Chief Justice says the arrears owed the jurors must be paid.
We agreed on systematic models moving forward. All of that is removed very quickly. And we agreed on following on their allowances to make sure that it's paid early. But I think also critical for us to remember is that most of them are public servants, and so they're being paid their salaries. So in the interest of Mother Ghana, allowances should not lead to strike.
Which means that at the end of this meeting, the jurors will be calling off their strike. Is that?
They promised me they will do so, and I know they will.
Foreman of the Juror Association of the Ashanti region, Albert Aka, says they would be returning to court on Monday.
She has asked us to return to court on Monday, and we have agreed to return to court. And as she promised, she said she's going to make sure that our allowance are paid in.
You heard there my colleague Nana Boache Dankwayi Adams report and interacting with the Chief Justice Gertrude Tukono. Well, your colleagues in the Bono and Ahafo regions are also preparing to suspend their services in the High Court if the allowances are not paid by Monday. Desmond Opong is Deputy Secretary of the Jurors. Until their monies hit the accounts, they say they would stop work.
I, for example, I'm having the minimum number of cases, but I can confidently tell you I'm sitting on about 10 cases. We are just 25 of us. So all criminal cases have been shared amongst us. I'm the one with the least number of cases. We have 5 courts, 2 commercial courts and 3 courts. Court 1, 2, 3 and commercial court A and B, 5 of them. And we sit from Monday to Friday. So those who have many cases sit there from morning to evening. You go there, you don't even have an office to sit. You are sitting on a bench with the criminals that are being presented to the court. They just look at your face, identify you. You are walking on the street, somebody will see you and greet you. How is that? Men are my case, you know. Look at that. Yet, you provide the service and they don't pay. They've not paid us a peso.
It's a good time for a quick breather here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, in Kumasi, on Love 99.5 FM affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. The Midday News is proudly sponsored by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDP pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. 2 UK-based firms, Economic Intelligence Unit and Fitch Solutions, predict victory for former president. Return from the break and get to sports, where Ghana will begin her 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign this afternoon as the Black Stars take on the Barrier of Madagascar. And later, Nigerian singer Victor Adi has expressed his gratitude to Ghanaians for making his song Waiting We Gain a hit song here, even before it became popular in his home region, Nigeria.
It got to a point where it was bigger in Ghana first before Nigeria. Definitely.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a Petrosol station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
Imagine say water wake up at dawn, no bath, no chop, where it vanish for your area for 2 weeks. You not get 1 drop safe inside your tank.
Hey.
Haja, our life was in dangerous. Only our neighbor get water with water tank.
Water tank?
Yes, water tank. Mamma mia, that water tank get meter for checking water level. That water tank be fine past Kumasi Selenium. That water tank be tough like Ghana Army. That water tank, they carry water pepe, so say some no go left inside the supply tank. What a tank! As my boss, Mr. Poncho, go talk.
Beautiful, durable, with water level indicator and accurate volume of water. Water tank. What a tank! By Duraplast.
Chalet inside my car, dear drama. Wow! The movie lovers always get some story to share, and the Premier League lovers too, they like complain. Hey, VAR, he go over you.
Hey, this one, dear, it's like you're talking about me. The DSTV movie channels always they over me.
This festive season, it go over you even more on DSTV. Sports are sports, movies and swap movies, kids channels are kids channels. And if you happen to be out this festive period, the DSTV stream go meet you there. Dial *759# to reconnect or stay connected and unbox the entertainment this festive season. DSTV, it's your moment.
It's time for sports. I'll take you to my colleague Mubarak live from the Ashanti region as the Black Stars prepare to take on the Barrier of Madagascar. All set, Mubarak?
Yes, all set, Emefa. The players are yet to arrive and start their warm-up, but then all is set. The fans are here. Not a lot because it's understandable. It's a working day, but yes, I'm sure by 4 p.m. the kickoff time, the stadium will be full. This is the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, the home of the Black Stars, and the fans have never disappointed. So yeah, Emefa is all set.
Okay, that's my colleague Mubarak there giving us details. And 4 p.m. we're bringing you a live commentary right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, Ghana needs a simple law that states explicitly that we do not mine or drill in our forest reserves. The words of some civil society organizations as calls for the revocation of the Environmental Protection Regulation LI 2462 intensify. Executive Director of the Environmental Advocacy Group WACAM, Hannah Owusu-Kranting, says the law will facilitate the degradation of 80% of Ghana's forests.
It's giving some legitimacy for an illegal activity. That's what I'll say. Because if you look at the Minerals and Mining Act 703, it's explicit that mining is available on every land except when the land is covered by an act or otherwise. And what I mean is that once you have a legislation saying that this place is earmarked as a protected forest, as a forest reserve, as a globally significant biodiversity area, then it is not available for mining.
Now, pressure group Occupy Ghana says Ghana needs a simple law that clearly states we do not mine or drill in our forest reserves. Maxwell Agbaba joins me with details of that. What more is the same?
Well, Emefa, Occupy Ghana wants Parliament to, as a matter of urgency, pass an act that forbids the grant of any mining or drilling permit, license or lease or any other associated activities in all forest reserves and significant biodiversity areas.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, still on mining though, the Mines and Energy Committee is in Sege on a working visit to the Salt Mining Company Limited, Electrocare. My colleague Carlos Caloni is with the team, joins us on the line. Carlos, what can you report?
All right, so I can say for a fact that the Parliament Select Committee on Mines and Energy is currently in a crunch meeting with the management of Electrochem Ghana Limited. And according to our sources, after this meeting, the committee will be going to look at the burnt machines of Electrochem. They will also visit Tofloko, which is the community which actually clash with staff of Electrochem. So that is the update now. But you know, about few days ago, the resident actually gave the government 14 days to actually find the killers of Womeno quality. So that is the update from Songo as we speak.
That's my colleague Carlos Caloni. In the midst of the illegal mining destruction across the country, citizen resistance is mounting in some communities. One of them is at Tonsu in Bibiani and also Bekwai municipality. Residents are leading a crusade against any form of mining. We have details in the concluding part of Poison for Gold.
Atronsu is a small farming community in the Bibiani and Nyaso Bekwai municipality. It is home to this beautiful forest and its serene water source, the Atronsu stream. Series of attempts have been made to give this land out for community mining schemes, but the community says no. 80-year-old Georgina Awotri and others want any form of mining to be resisted.
Did you say you are bringing community mining here?
The mining will bring teenage pregnancy and truancy. The children will not go to school. Look at the devastation caused by mining on the Dunkwa Road. Look at the polluted water bodies. We are saying we don't want any community mining.
The concluding part of Poison for Gold, put together by PAV Answer Journalist of the Year, Erastus Asari Donko, airs on the Super Morning Show at 8:30 a.m. on Monday and on the Joy News channel at 8:30 p.m. same day. And just before we head out, Nigerian recording artist Victor Adere, popularly known as Victor AD, has hailed Ghana for the massive success of his hit single, Waiting We Gain. You don't know it? Jacqueline and Sumayabwa has more.
Did you know Ghanaians have the ears for good music? That is why Ghanaian artists and artists all over put in the efforts to give us the best. Nigerian recording artist Victor Adere, popularly known as Victor AD, has hailed Ghana for the massive success of his hit single, Waiting We Gain, which, according to him, became popular in Ghana before his home country.
It got to a point where it was bigger in Ghana first before Nigeria, definitely. So I got my first big show for the song. I got it here in Ghana first, and then I had.
Which show was that?
Huh?
Which show was that? Which show was that?
I've even forgotten the name of the event.
Was it Ghana Meets Niger?
No, it's not Ghana Meet Niger. That was before Ghana Meet Niger.
Okay.
Yeah, it was organized by some promoters. They actually put that together for me. So the next thing I got to call Victor Alpha. Come to Ghana. I was like, I've not even done things in Nigeria.
You didn't do any promotion in Ghana?
No, I didn't.
You had not done any promotion?
I didn't know anybody here in Ghana.
Mr. Easy, Burna Boy, Pato Rankin, and many more, I believe, can attest to this.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News. If you don't listen to Joy 99.7 FM, Waiting You Gain. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. And Mahama likely to win 2024 election. EIU Fitch predicts. Also, BOG warns Ghanaians against 8 unapproved money transfer organizations. That's more myjoyonline.com. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil is up next. I am Emefa Apawu. Have a good afternoon.